Before world wars reshaped the skies, Germany was already experimenting with flight, laying the foundation for one of the most advanced aviation industries in history. Let's starting with Arleigh Pre, World War I aircraft, 1909 to 1913. Wright Flyer. Germany's aviation journey began with licensed versions of the Wright Flyer. These early machines introduced controlled powered flight to German engineers, serving primarily as experimental and training platforms that shaped the country's earliest understanding of aerodynamics and aircraft control. Rumpler Taube. Rumpler Taube became Germany's first truly distinctive aircraft design. Inspired by bird-like wings, it offered stable flight and was widely used for reconnaissance and pilot training, proving that Germany could produce reliable indigenous aircraft. Albatros Bi. Albatros Bi marked Germany's shift toward military-focused aviation. Designed as an unarmed reconnaissance aircraft, it laid the groundwork for future combat designs and helped standardize aircraft production before the outbreak of World War I. Moving into the First World War, 1914 to 1918, Fokker Eindecker. Fokker Eindecker changed aerial warfare forever by introducing a synchronized machine gun firing through the propeller. This innovation gave German pilots temporary air superiority and marked the true beginning of fighter aircraft combat. Albatros D3. Albatros D3 became one of Germany's most successful WWII fighters. Fast, agile, and heavily armed, it dominated the skies during 1917 and established Germany's reputation for advanced fighter design. Fokker Dr.I. Fokker Dr.I, the famous triplane, was built for extreme maneuverability. Best known as the aircraft of elite aces, it excelled in close-range dogfights and became an enduring symbol of World War I aviation. Gotha GV. Gotha GV represented Germany's shift toward strategic bombing. Designed for long-range missions, it carried heavy bomb loads deep into enemy territory, introducing the concept of aerial bombardment against cities. Next to move on interwar years, 1919 to 1935, Junkers F-13. After World War I, Junkers F-13 marked a revolution in aviation. It was the world's first all-metal transport aircraft, proving Germany's engineering strength and setting new standards for civilian and military aircraft design worldwide. Heinkel He-51. Heinkel He-51 represented Germany's early return to military aviation. Although soon outdated, it played a crucial role in pilot training and helped rebuild fighter tactics during a period of rapid technological change. Arado R-65. Arado R-65 served as a transitional biplane fighter. It bridged the gap between World War I designs and modern monoplanes, giving German pilots valuable experience as aviation moved toward faster and more powerful aircraft. Dornier Do-11. Dornier Do-11 was one of Germany's early bomber developments. While not entirely successful, it contributed important lessons in bomber construction and payload management during the interwar experimentation phase. Junkers Ju-52. Junkers Ju-52 became one of Germany's most iconic aircraft. Originally designed as a transport plane, its reliability and versatility later made it a backbone of German logistics and airborne operations in the coming war. Now stepping into the fighter aircraft of World War II, 1939 to 1945, Messerschmitt Bf 109. Messerschmitt Bf 109 was the backbone of Germany's fighter force throughout World War II. Fast, adaptable, and constantly upgraded, it fought on every front and became one of the most produced and most successful fighters of the war. Focke-Wulf FW-190. Focke-Wulf FW-190 entered service as a shock to Allied pilots. With heavy firepower, strong armor, and excellent performance at low and medium altitudes, It quickly earned a reputation as one of Germany's most dangerous fighters. Messerschmitt Bf 110. Messerschmitt Bf 110 was designed as a long-range heavy fighter. Although it struggled against smaller fighters, it proved effective in ground attack and night fighter roles later in the war. Messerschmitt Me 163 Comet. Messerschmitt Me 163 Comet was a radical rocket-powered interceptor, extremely fast but highly dangerous to fly. It represented Germany's desperate attempt to counter Allied bomber formations. Messerschmitt Me 262. Messerschmitt Me 262 became the world's first operational jet fighter. Its speed was unmatched by any propeller aircraft, marking the beginning of the jet age, despite entering service too late to change the war's outcome. Heinkel He 112. Heinkel He 112 was an early fighter design that lost the main competition to the Bf 109. Although limited in service, it played an important role in testing and refining Germany's early fighter concepts. Heinkel He 162 Volksjäger. Heinkel He 162 was an emergency jet fighter developed late in the war. Built quickly and cheaply, it reflected Germany's collapsing industrial situation and the urgent need to defend its airspace. Focke-Wulf Ta 152. Focke-Wulf Ta 152 was designed specifically for high-altitude combat. With long wings and powerful performance, it became one of the most advanced piston-engine fighters ever built. Messerschmitt Me 410. Messerschmitt Me 410 was an improved heavy fighter and interceptor. Faster and better armed than earlier designs, it served in multiple roles, but was increasingly challenged by Allied air superiority. Arado R-240. Arado R-240 was an advanced experimental fighter featuring innovative technology. Although it never entered mass production, it demonstrated ideas that influenced future aircraft development. Now shifting focus to Germany's bomber aircraft of World War II, 1939 to 1945. Heinkel He 111. Heinkel He 111 was Germany's primary medium bomber at the start of the war. Recognizable by its glazed nose, it carried out strategic bombing, maritime attacks, and transport missions across multiple fronts. Junkers Ju-88. Junkers Ju-88 was one of the most versatile bombers of World War II. Used as a bomber, dive bomber, night fighter, and reconnaissance aircraft, it became a cornerstone of Germany's air operations. Dornier Du-17. Dornier Du-17 earned the nickname Flying Pencil because of its slim fuselage. Designed for speed, it relied on evasion rather than heavy armor and played a major role during the early years of the war. Dornier Du-217. Dornier Du-217 was a larger and more powerful development of earlier Dornier bombers. It carried heavier payloads and was used for long-range bombing, anti-shipping missions, and guided weapon attacks. Junkers Ju-87 Stuka. Junkers Ju-87 Stuka became one of the most feared dive bombers of the war. Its precision bombing and psychological impact made it highly effective during early German offensives, though it later suffered against strong air defenses. Junkers Ju-188. Junkers Ju-188 was an improved successor to the Ju-88, faster and more capable at high altitude. It represented Germany's attempt to modernize its bomber fleet as the war progressed. Heinkel He 177. Heinkel He 177 was Germany's only operational heavy bomber. Designed for long-range missions, it was plagued by technical problems, but symbolized Germany's ambition to match Allied strategic bombing power. Now exploring Germany's transport, reconnaissance, and special mission aircraft of World War II, 1936 to 1945. Junkers Ju-52. Junkers Ju-52 was the backbone of German air transport operations. Used for troop transport, cargo delivery, and airborne assaults, it played a crucial role in logistics and large-scale military movements. Fieseler Fi 156 Storch. Fieseler Fi 156 Storch was designed for short takeoff and landing operations. Its ability to operate from rough and confined areas made it invaluable for reconnaissance, liaison duties, and medical evacuation. Blohm & Voss Bv-138. Blohm & Voss Bv-138 was a long-range maritime patrol flying boat. It was used extensively for coastal reconnaissance, convoy escort, and submarine support over vast sea areas. Arado R-196. Arado R-196 served as a shipborne reconnaissance aircraft. Launched from warships, it provided scouting, patrol, and light attack capabilities, extending the eyes of the German Navy far beyond the horizon. Messerschmitt Me 323 Gigant. Messerschmitt Me 323 Gigant was the largest land-based transport aircraft of World War II, capable of carrying heavy vehicles and supplies. It highlighted Germany's attempt to solve large-scale transport challenges. Blohm & Voss Bv-222. Blohm & Voss Bv-222 was a massive long-range flying boat. Designed for transcontinental transport and supply missions, it represented one of the most ambitious transport aircraft projects of the war. Now entering Germany's early jet and experimental aircraft programs, 1944 to 1946, Messerschmitt Me-262. Messerschmitt Me-262 was the world's first operational jet aircraft, jet fighter. Far faster than any Allied propeller aircraft, it redefined air combat and marked the true beginning of the jet age, even though it arrived too late to change the war. Heinkel He 162 Volksjäger. Heinkel He 162 was an emergency jet fighter developed under extreme wartime pressure, built quickly with limited resources. It reflected Germany's desperate situation in the final months of the war. Arado R-234. Arado R-234 became the world's first operational jet-powered bomber. Its speed made interception extremely difficult, and it demonstrated how jets would soon transform reconnaissance and bombing missions. Horten-Ho 229. Horten-Ho 229 was a revolutionary flying wing jet design. With reduced radar visibility and high speed, it showcased ideas far ahead of its time and influenced future stealth aircraft concepts. Messerschmitt Me-163 Comet. Messerschmitt Me-163 was a rocket-powered interceptor designed to attack high-altitude bombers. Incredibly fast but extremely dangerous, it represented the most radical German attempt to gain air superiority. Junkers EF-132. Junkers EF-132 was a projected jet bomber concept developed at the end of the war. Although never built, it revealed Germany's long-term vision for swept-wing jet bombers in the post-war era. Now transitioning into Germany's Cold War and post-war aviation era, 1956 to 1990. Canadair Sabre German service. Canadair Sabre marked West Germany's return to modern air combat after World War II. Serving with the Luftwaffe, it helped rebuild Germany's air force and introduce jet fighter operations under NATO alignment. Fiat G91. Fiat G91 was selected as a lightweight tactical strike aircraft. Compact and reliable, it served as a ground attack and reconnaissance platform, becoming an important part of Germany's Cold War air doctrine. Lockheed F-104 Starfighter. Lockheed F-104 Starfighter was one of the fastest aircraft of its time. Operated extensively by Germany, it symbolized high-speed interception during the Cold War, though it also became controversial due to its demanding flight characteristics. Panavia Tornado. Panavia Tornado was a multi-role strike aircraft Developed through European cooperation, designed for low-level penetration missions, it became a backbone of Germany's strike capability during the late Cold War. Dassault Alpha Jet. Dassault Alpha Jet served primarily as a trainer in light attack aircraft. It played a crucial role in pilot training, while also maintaining combat capability, bridging the gap between training and frontline service. Now arriving at Germany's modern and present-day aircraft, 2003 to present, Eurofighter Typhoon. Eurofighter Typhoon represents Germany's current frontline air combat capability. Designed for air superiority and multi-role missions, it combines advanced avionics, agility, and high-speed performance for modern warfare. Airbus A400M Atlas. Airbus A400M Atlas is a next-generation military transport aircraft. Built to replace older transports, it supports strategic airlift, tactical delivery, and humanitarian missions for Germany and its allies. Panavia Tornado IDS. Panavia Tornado IDS continues to serve as a dedicated strike aircraft. Known for low-level penetration and precision attack capability, it remained a key part of Germany's Air Force well into the modern era. Eurocopter Tiger. Eurocopter Tiger is Germany's advanced attack helicopter, designed for battlefield dominance. It provides close air support, reconnaissance, and anti-armor capabilities in modern combat environments.